I've always been a collector. Ever since early childhood, I've been collecting various things. When I was in my teens, I learnt to sail with a neighbour, and after that, I bought a house in my early 20s and filled it with furniture and started putting pictures on the walls. And the choice of picture was mostly Malden or sailing. And eventually the house got too small, and I looked for a bigger house, and the present house has been with me now for 30 years, and it's a large 6-bedroom house, Tudor and Georgian, and even this house is now full of pictures, and as are the cupboards and the drawers. But finally my wife decided that we have to move to something a bit smaller, so we've built a new house. This house is for sale, and we're going to have to thin the collection down a bit, just take the best bits away.
Are you going to be upset about that, Kevin?
Yes, I am. Up to a certain... I realise I am going to have to thin down a bit, but I would like to have kept everything, but I guess I realise I do have to sell some of what I've got.
So how many pictures do you think you're going to cull?
No, nobody's asked me that question before. I'm guessing I'm going to have to cull about half of them, and there's over 300.
Kevin, you've been collecting for 40 odd years. You've got hundreds of pictures. What is the total value of your collection, do you think?
I'm guessing, and it is only a guess because I've paid quite a lot of money over the years, I'm guessing it'd be over £100,000, but exactly what, I don't know in today's market, because some prices have gone up and some have gone down, and it's what people are willing to pay for on the day. One of the very earliest pictures is this little one up here. It cost me £4 many years ago off an antique dealer, and I just liked it, and it's not particularly valuable, but it's an early picture, so I've kept it on the wall. And
well, let's bring it down and have a look at it.
There we are.
And tell me about the picture, Kevin.
I don't know anything about it. It's by an unknown artist. The date, I guess it's 19th century, and it's very primitively painted. It's not signed, but it was only £4. So anyway, I've kept it because I like it.
And that's what art's all about, isn't it?
It is, yes. My favourite picture in the collection, and there's an awful lot to choose from, I think, is the picture immediately behind me by Charles Edward Dixon. It's dated 1909, and it was an early picture I bought. I remember going up to Aldborough and queuing outside John Thompson's shop, and it was on the front cover, and I bought it, and I've liked it ever since. It's of Norwegian fishing boats sailing obviously in some sort of regatta or festival. I believe Norway. It doesn't say that, but I believe it's Norway. My favourite artist is Arthur Briscoe, and the reason I started collecting him was probably 1987, 1988. I went with a friend to her family house, and her father collected Arthur Briscoe's pictures, and he had some of his etchings and watercolours on the wall, and I sort of fell in love with them, and the fact that he was a local artist. He lived in Malden for a while and then moved to West Mersey. Meant that some of the scenes were local, and 6 or 8 months later I saw some for sale and started buying some etchings, and over the next 30 odd years I've spent a lot of time and money obtaining his pictures, so now I've got probably nearly 200 of his works of art, etchings, watercolours, oil paintings and pen sketches. the pen sketches which he did for the Yachting Monthly magazine in the 1910s. And yeah, I love his work. He's very good at doing men in action, mostly on square riggers, and this painting here illustrates that well. And this one was done as an etching, and he also did it as a watercolour at the same time. I think 1930 this one, and at that time he was selling etchings for a lot of money, and it was very well known in the late 1920s and early 30s. Then he carried on until about 1939 doing etchings, and died in 1943. This painting by the fireplace here, I believe, is probably the most valuable picture I've got in the collection. I saw an advert for it coming up at Phillips in Edinburgh about 1988, 1989, and flew up to Edinburgh, had a look at it, and liked it. And because I was working abroad, I went abroad, and my father actually bid on it on the telephone, and we won the painting. And yeah, it's very nice painting by Arthur Briscoe of getting the anchor over the side on a square rigger, dated 1929, and it's very typical of Arthur Briscoe's oil paintings of the time when he was at his most well known.
And how much is it?
I don't know. Probably 10,000-12,000. I'm guessing.
So this is for your sale pile, is it?
There's just some drawers and cupboards I've been emptying now, and we've got some pictures for sale. But these are generally lesser paintings and pictures, which will be going on the market in the near future, and some moderately well-known artists, but I haven't got room for them on the walls anymore, and I haven't got the storage space that I had at the previous house. And
what have we got down here?
Lots more pictures. But some of these I'll keep, some of them will be for sale.
What's going to happen to the entire collection now?
We're moving house. We're moving to a relatively small house compared to this one. It's only got 4 bedrooms instead of 6, and there's a lot of sloping ceilings which aren't going to help. So some of the collection will have to be sold, much against my better judgment, but it will be the better paintings that stay, and the not so good and not so relevant ones that disappear. As yet we haven't started moving, but when we do, I'll have to sort of arrange the furniture and the pictures and see what's left and see what has to go. And I guess it'll get sold probably by auction. Maybe I'll contact a dealer. I haven't really decided yet, but it's gradually downsizing. I'm coming up to retirement now. I'm 66, and it's time to think about the future. And also, there's just 2 of us in this big house, so we're moving to a slightly smaller house, and it's by the waterside. I can get to my boat a lot easier. It'll be good.
So you must know all of these pictures intimately.
Yes, everyone's been bought by me and chosen by me, and I've queued or bid on them, or yes, and had them, a lot of them framed and done research. Yes, so they're part of me. So it's going to be a difficult wrench to get rid of some of them. So
we're seeing the collection for the last, as a total, for the last time.
Yeah, as they are at the moment. A lot of them will be in the new house, but of course not all of them, and hopefully the selection of the best ones will be there, and we'll maybe be able to spend some of the money I've made from the ones I've sold to buy some even better ones. You never know.
You're still in a buying mood, are you?
I'm a collector. I was born a collector, and I'll die a collector.
And the weapons on the wall, are they from boats or?
No, nothing to do with boats. When I was probably a young teenager, I started collecting swords and knives and bayonets, and this set here is mostly from that period when I was very young. And then I worked in Indonesia for 9 years, and all these on this wall are Indonesian krisses and various weapons from Indonesia.